Not sure what you should be spending your money on? Well, in this guide, I'm going to be giving you recommendations on what you can probably prioritize with your money or ant coins. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, join our Discord, and also follow us on Instagram so you always have the support that you need to really enhance your account and get yourself to the next level. Also, if you stick around until the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can save a lot of money when you make in-game purchases by getting some amazing cashbacks each time you purchase anything. Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sky channel. Now when it comes to things to buy, there are a ton of things you can buy in the Ants Underground Kingdom, and there are many people who are confused and hence they start spending money the wrong way. Well, hopefully this video is going to help out and give you some suggestions on what you can purchase. And given there's a ton of things to buy, I might have to go a little faster than my usual pace. Otherwise, this video can end up being an hour long. Okay, start with the benefits tab. Season development plan. It used to be absolutely amazing because it used to have, back in the day when it was Lost Island, Wise Berserker as one of the possible ants. Now that's a meta ant. You could get it from this chest. Well, as time progressed, they did remove the meta from this chest. Now you see I'd want a Sly Hunter, but there is no Sly Hunter as an option. It also doesn't have the red velvet, so it's sort of one season behind, making it less of an absolute must-have, but it still has some cool stuff like 15 season eggs, a bunch of enhancement resin which can help you get 9 shells or potentially a lot of buffs. We talked about this in another video we posted this month, so you can check that out, and a few other cool things as well. It's still a good deal. It's not a must-have that it used to be a while back. Underground Empire. Okay, what do we have here? $10 for a bunch of speed ups, spores, orange eggs, creature remains. Honestly, I probably wouldn't buy this. Light contract. Now, this is good if you have a decent spending budget. So let's say mid spender type, right? And if you really need something from this store, like exotic shells, right? A lot of people need a lot of exotic shells. So if that's the case, this is a good deal. It does give you a bunch of these exotic shells or degenerate shells that you might need, as well as these really hard to get big cell nuclei or, the germ ones. Everyone needs that. So it has a bunch of good things that offer, and it gives you a bunch of other stuff, right? Every day you get speed ups or let's say resources that you might need. Overall, it's a good deal. It also gives you supreme native fungi, so more fungi production for those of you really struggling with fungi. And you can check out some of the other buffs it offers. Warzone supply for medium spenders. A lot of your money is probably going to this page. Let's start with the most important Warzone exclusive supply. 50% extra experience in SVS, and it's only $1, right? $1 for 7 days. A very good deal. Then amp crystal supply. Everyone knows amp crystals are the new gold. You want to get T12 as soon as possible. You need a ton of amp crystals. $5 for 7 days and you get 100 amp crystals, of course. This one, also a very good deal. $10 for 250 amp crystal fragments and you're getting creature remains too. Win-win. Season ant development supply. It's not that cool, but you know what? When you're in the season and you still have 7 days left, you can get, I believe that's $10 for 7 season eggs and a bunch of other stuff as well. That's a good deal. This one, probably not. Insect development supply, good deal. $10 for 800 Ascent shells, and you can also get even more based on how many good insects you have, and 13,000 exotic fodder. Of course, it's a good deal as well. Soldier reform supply, $5 for 30 of these soldier reform chests. Again, a good deal. Special ant growth plan. Okay, so this is about $25 if I'm not mistaken. You get this particular offer where you can get Giant Destructor, Amber Glider, or one of these special ants. Plus, you get the opportunity of getting one of these season special ants as well, along with a bunch of orange eggs. I won't say this is a must-have for sure. I mean, I don't think you're going to be using any of these season ants, although the Amber Glider does have a few benefits. Of course, it gives you a hatch speed increase, fodder increase. So if you really want it, get it for the Amber Glider. Once you have Amber Glider maxed out, you probably don't need this at all because the value of orange eggs is kind of negligible and they're never going to add like super meta ants in this. So the only good thing I see here is the Amber Glider if you really care about increasing the hatch speed of your insects and getting these particular insect bonuses, which can probably be okay in the long run. I don't know how good they're going to be, but perhaps in the long run, given that this is a permanent bonus, it's going to be somewhat worth it. Insect growth plan, this is usually a good deal, right? You get a bunch of orange insects as well as a really good insect that's 2 generations behind, but still helpful because of the fact that there's still medals that you can unlock if you have different types of the same generation of insect, which give you a permanent boost. Plus, a lot of people are going to be struggling getting a bunch of insects to 11 star. This gives you a lot of orange insects that can really help speed up your starring of your insects, especially now that you need 4 good insects for your mines. Jumping along to the next one, events. All right. What are we talking here? Well, firstly, you are probably going to be going into events and there are the options to buy insects, ants, insect skins, or hard branches, and you need 6,000 points for that. Well, a new generation insect of your particular class, probably a good deal, although you're going to be looking at about 250 to 300 US dollars for that. The benefit is reasonable. Insect skins, if you're a big whale, yeah, sure, you can get it. If you're a small spender, probably not the best investment. I did make a whole video on insects and ants on when they're the most useful. Do watch that. I don't want to cover that again in this video, but essentially, new insect when it comes out, good deal. New ant when it comes out, good deal if you have the budget to buy 3 of them. If just one, that's debatable. But if you have a decent budget and you can put in $750 or perhaps $900, yeah, that's a good deal, especially when the new ant comes out. Hard branches, there are better ways to get it. And you know what? There's this event that happens every other week where you need to spend something for 5 days within the week. You can get $1 packs for 5 days. That's $5 and you get 1 hard branch. And over 10 of those events, you get 10 hard branches for $50 versus $250 over here. So hard branches, you can prioritize getting over there. Moving along, VIP store, there are certain packs that are available here. I think these packs are okay. I never really invest too much in them. They do offer decent stuff, right? 25 soldier reform chests for $5 seems good. And then 1,000 essentials for $20 is decent. Right. I think the normal rate used to be around $10 or $500, so it's not a must-have big win. It's decent though. But anyhow, you remember you're getting 30 of these from the $5 pack that we talked about earlier, the 7 days one, and I think the 7-day one gives you a better deal here as well. So probably better to get stuff from there unless you're really lacking essentials and you want to buy them everywhere possible. Moving to the treasure sale, I don't really ever think about these. I'm not the best person to answer this. I wouldn't recommend anyone buy it unless they really understood the value proposition that we're talking. If you're a big spender and you're really missing some of these, perhaps it might be worth it, but perhaps this one, unless you know the value proposition, don't buy it, right? Don't just buy blindly. There are certain things that give you a very clear value proposition. This one, you have to make your own judgment on if you think it's worth it or not. Now, there are certain events that give you certain packs which might be nice, and they have other benefits. Like if you purchase all of these event packs, you get certain other bonuses that are also pretty cool and can be required for stuff like the creature amber as well, which is a pretty hard to get item. Now these things, I'm not sure if they remain the same every time or if they change, but you can see the value that you're getting from them. This seems to be a pretty nice deal. You're talking 750 essentials for $10 and you're getting a bunch of other stuff. Sounds like a good deal to me. $5 for an exotic shell, as well as these buddy fragments and eggs and shells and this chest. I think this $5 pack is also a good deal. The second $5 pack, also a good deal. You can see it's giving you an exotic shell, a chest, reform chests, insect eggs, as well as 20 selective mutation chests. Again, $5 a decent amount of value. All three of these seem to be really good so far. This $20 chest is also interesting. It's giving you a bunch of reform chests as well as two of these packs, but also more importantly, reform essence, which is sort of hard to get and sort of expensive to get too. So $20 for 10 reform essence probably seems okay to me as well. That being said, anyone chasing reform essences probably is going to be a medium spender because they're trying to get that combat speed and you need a ton of reform essence for that, which you're going to be collecting over time, and that's going to be a fairly expensive process if you start buying them. Now, I did mention there's this event that gives you hard branches. Well, that event is separate. This one, you can see this autumn celebration is also offering the same stuff, right? 5 days, make a purchase and you get a hard branch. So I'm lucky because last week was that event that gives me a hard branch. This week I got this, and next week that event will come back because it happens every other week. I can get 3 hard branches over 3 weeks. Okay, I'm going to take a twist. I'm going to jump somewhere else. Worker ants. Now, worker ants are interesting. They allow you to upgrade your buildings. If you don't have Queen level 25 and you still have some buildings that are yet to be upgraded, then getting these extra worker ants are absolutely must have. But even if you have all your buildings at 25, there's still value in getting more of these builder ants. The first one is $5. I already purchased it. The second one, I believe, is $10 for another worker ant. Now, worker ants are useful because they also give you treasure materials. And essentially, once you unlock a worker ant, you can get extra treasure materials every single time, right? So over time, the amount of treasure materials you get are going to increase significantly. So $5 and $10, probably a good deal. I think as we buy more, it gets even more expensive. I don't know if the fourth one is 100 or 50, but it is reasonably expensive. Jumping right back to the pack shop, one-time offer. This is okay. I don't know if I'd recommend this. In this case, I'll ask you to make your own judgment. This is fairly expensive, $90 for one of these ants. They're still reasonable ants, but they aren't in their prime, right? I personally wouldn't buy it. If you're a big spender, you probably have better ants anyway, so you probably wouldn't buy it either. This doesn't seem to fit in any category. Either you're a huge spender or a small spender. Time limited chests. This is amazing because it gives you an opportunity to buy dollar packs every single day, which you can use to get those hard branches that I was talking about. And generally the $1 packs are much cheaper than you'd otherwise be purchasing them for in any of the other tabs. So generally good deals. The weekly special also gives you an amazing deal. This one right here, which is 6,500%, 3 large cell nuclei and 50 small ones, 100%. It's a good deal. Monthly packs, we're talking, I think the only thing that some people really chase is the exotic shells. I think it's about $15 for 5, a good deal. Now to mention one more thing, as you keep buying more stuff from this time limited offer, you get points, and those points contribute towards these prices at the top, and you can see at 10, I get an orange egg. At 15, I get 20 of these small cell nuclei. And as you go further, the best thing that you probably really want is getting 50 points. If you're a big spender, you want to get 100 of the big cell nuclei or whatever class you decide to choose, because these things are hard to get. When you go to the season tab, we are looking at a bunch of different things. I think something that big spenders should remember, purchasing these revival fungi packs are important. You can stock up on them. You might need them to win the war. And if you don't need them, you get a refund. Look at that. $4.99 ant coins get refunded if you didn't use this, and it only costs $4.99 in the first place. So it's like 100% refund. On top of that, I think you get to keep your diamonds. I haven't tried this. I think you'll get to keep it, but you're definitely getting all your money back. If you're aiming to get certain thresholds of season eggs, like 300, 600, you're probably going to start with the cheaper season egg packs and purchase more expensive ones as you need. Daily special, the only thing that you really need here is the amp crystals. Now you buy this, there's a more expensive one that comes next, and there's a more expensive one. The biggest one I think is $50 for 400. If you're pushing for T11, which I think everyone should, this is a very good thing. As I mentioned before, amp crystals are the new gold. Special ants tab, I guess this is the one that you'd be looking at if you really need it, right? You might need to get some conversions, but you can get a bunch of these for free as well. Special ants evolution meteorite basically, and what you might be looking here is the $5 pack at the top, and I think as you buy more it keeps on getting more and more expensive, but at $50 and $100 you get a lava core. Same thing here, and here you get the other core. I think it's Brachiac Core or something. And this one, again, same thing, you get Brachiac Core. But more importantly, there's another $5 pack in the most recent Evolution Meteoroid, and it gives you the ability to get an orange quest, 2 purple, and 3 blue that are extra. And remember, an orange quest gives you a Brachiac Core along with other stuff as well. The $5 pack, a must have. You get those extra cores, you get a bunch of other materials. It's a very, very good deal. Now, the mutations tab, you can get everything cheaper from the daily special, so I don't think you'd be purchasing much here. Insects, again, you'd be only looking at these two if you really need it. The other stuff, again, you can get it cheaper on the specific day. If you're a big spender, you may want to consider ambers, so they are extremely expensive, right? We're talking like $500 to get one. Yikes. I don't even know if whales want to buy this or not. Anything in these tabs are anyway more expensive because you can always get them much cheaper through other events, so you always have to think twice before you buy anything from here. Same thing here, same thing here. I think there's nothing too special here. Also here, right? Anything that's in this side is probably more expensive than the time limited offers or events, so you might have to think twice. This place is definitely a good place to put your money in, and the other two that I mentioned, right? Getting the fungi packs and this $5 pack is a must have. Okay, so I think we covered a lot. I don't know if there's some other stuff that I missed, but this video got pretty long as I was thinking it would. I hope it was helpful for you. Before you go, I want you to know you can save a lot of money in the Ants Underground Kingdom using Aptoid and my promo code. Check out the video that I'm linking to this video. It's going to be in the description, or you can click that button that's going to appear at the top right of the screen. That'll take you to that video. Remember that now you can only use my promo code 5 times every 30 days, so use it on the highest value purchases like $100 packs, and sometimes you might be prompted to enter the code at checkout, and if you are, please do add it there. It wants to make sure that you want to use the promo code for this particular purchase. Otherwise, having it just in the AppCoins wallet should be good enough. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.